Just out of all the guitar brands out there, it all kind of goes back to when I first got into heavy metal, just wanting to play guitar, especially the King V. I remember seeing pictures of Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. He was playing them, and I always thought that was like the raddest looking guitar. Being in a touring band and playing all over the world and I guess recording music and making albums, each guitar has like a story behind it and there's like a sentimental value to it. And for me, it's like I can look at a guitar and be like, oh, I wrote that song with this, or I recorded with this album with this guitar, or this was in a music video. I've only sold one guitar, which was my first guitar I ever had. And I sold it to get like a new guitar. My first Jackson that I ever bought in high school is in the Pull Harder on the Strings Your Martyr video, which, funny story, lost it 10 years ago on tour over in England, and it got put into storage. And I've always been trying to find that guitar. We just played in Germany like in the beginning of August, and dude, our old tour manager from back in the day comes walking in, and I was like, that looks like the case. And I opened it up, and it was that guitar from 10 years ago that finally came back. So, you know, it's kind of has a special story because it was kind of like my first Jackson that I ever had. And I used it on tour back in the early days and used it in videos. And there's like some Guitar World features that I played it in. So definitely goes way back. So I'm glad to have that back. When we first started touring for the Ascendancy record in 2005, I actually got in touch with Jackson and was able to get my first King V back, I think right before we did Ozfest back then. So that's kind of was like my main guitar for a long time until, you know, I got what you see here. Really stoked about getting this guitar specifically kind of finished and out there. You know, we have a lot of fans that are, you know, musicians themselves and play guitar and everything. So, you know, we get to meet a lot of people on tour, and they would ask if I was going to put out like a production model, and I was like, I'm working on it. A lot of the stuff on the guitar is basically just, I didn't have to change it, because the reason why I like Jackson is, you know, how they make guitars in the first place, really just about the, I guess, the cosmetic, just figuring out like how I was going to be able to do something with the shape that wasn't too crazy. You know, I didn't want it to be some wild looking guitar. I wanted it to still be kind of like an elegant, kind of classy guitar, but had like that metal edge to it. Once this was all figured out, everything else was just kind of like automatic. It wasn't really anything to do. I like everything very, you know, kind of minimal. Pretty much the only thing I would ever touch is the volume knob and like the selector switch. I like the toggle switch more than I guess the other guitars have sliders on it, because I just pretty much go from the bridge to the neck. I don't need like all the extra like 5 points, you know, what you can do with the pickups. And then I've been using the blackout, Seymour Duncan blackouts for quite a while. I've tried a bunch of other different kinds of pickups and stuff, and it just, for my ears and what I like to hear for a guitar tone, these just always worked great. Great thing about the blackouts is even from the USA to this model, it's the exact same pickups. There's not like a different level version. It's the exact same pickups, and it's great because I play this exact guitar live. There's nothing different about what I play live than what you can buy. Been using these for a while, and then it's got the Floyd Rose, you know, for all the whammy bar stuff. Just always preferred Floyd Rose over a fixed bridge, and I like to use the whammy bar a lot. So squeals and stuff, that's always fun. This one has the reverse headstock, and that pretty much just kind of came about on accident. I had a bunch of 6-string stuff, but we do play a lot of 7-string stuff, and I didn't have one that was a Jackson 7-strings, and I didn't really make any preferences, too much stuff. It's just like I wanted a V 7-string, this color, and like had like all the, you know, kind of like the my setup for all the buttons and everything. We played Mayhem a few years ago, and they brought it out, and it was funny because the guitar, it was a 7-string, and it had the reverse headstock, but it wasn't like a thing I asked for, but I was like, wow, for some reason on the 7-string, the reverse headstock looks really cool. Because I also have some 7-strings that are the normal headstock, like the 6-string, and I was just like, For some reason, the reverse for a bigger headstock and the bigger neck for the extra string, it just, for some reason to me, just looked like that's the way it should look. Unlike this version, the USA ones have unfinished necks, which was also another thing that guitar had that I never preferenced. It just came with never played an unfinished neck, and that guitar came with an unfinished neck, and I just was like, wow, this feels really cool. So that was kind of like another happy accident that happened with the USA models. These ones don't have it, the unfinished neck, but for some reason with the matte finish with this, it just kind of like makes it all stealthy, and the matte finish feels different than like a gloss painted neck. Still has that fast feel of an unfinished neck, but I think with the matte finish, it just kind of completes the guitar for being the whole thing black. I kind of like the stealth look of it. So that's all the specs for the 7-string. And the 6-string right over here, everything's the exact same. All the configurations, the neck, the pickups are the same. Floyd Rose obviously is there, and it just has the different headstock. I kind of went over why the 7-string has it and this one doesn't. So that's pretty much it. I play metal, so it's built for that. It still has a good clean tone. We play clean stuff as well. It's got a great rhythm tone, and it sounds great for leads. We do go back and forth, and it also sounds really good for cleans. So for everything that we play in our music, and that I play personally, that I just like to play on my own, it's does everything that I need the guitar to do.